it was about this idea of creating something, creating these historical artifacts about things that aren't real, but making them look good enough that they look as good as the things that we can prove, and as good as like human artifacts and historical artifacts and things like that. So let me see. I know as far as doing this, I had this idea about creating these really. I mean, zombie movies have always been something that I've liked a lot. I've always been really interested in the genre because they ask all these different questions about the nature of death and things like that. And I was gonna work on a project for one of my sculpture classes later on, where I was gonna create like an infomercial for this company that creates weapons that people can use during the zombie apocalypse. When I talked to our uncle, he told me that he had this school bus van, and he was like, if you put like some plating over the windows or cut some holes to shoot guns out of, you could probably fight zombies with that thing, because he knew that I was really into it. And I was like, that's really funny. That's kind of a cool idea, but I just didn't see how it would fit into what I was doing anyway. But as I thought more about his idea, and I was kind of having a falling out with my idea with the infomercial and the really clean looking zombie weapons, I went back to this idea of an alternate history, and I thought, like, what if I created a new set of historical artifacts that would show that something like this actually happened? The point is that the project really hinges on that moment when people would see it. Like, I would imagine that if you go to a museum and you see like an exhibit of Civil War weapons, and then you see an exhibit of like samurai weapons or weapons or artifacts from any kind of war in the history of this country or the planet or anything, it registers to everybody as real right off the bat. And then I think if you were to see something like that, and then in the next room be able to see this stuff, hopefully you would have a minute or so before you realize that this stuff comes from something that's fake. So I just wanted it to stand to that level of scrutiny and make it look that good, even though it's referencing something that never happened, because it probably could never happen. I mean, I love zombie movies, but the thing that's first and foremost is the idea that, not for 1 second do I ever believe in any of that stuff. I just find it very interesting. The bus itself, my uncle gave it to me. Didn't have to pay a dime for it, and the thing works fine now. But let me see. I would say most of this stuff I found. Actually, I don't know. It was all kind of like equal. I know some of the hammers and the hatchets and stuff. I got those. A couple of those I found at my parents' house. A few of them I picked up from. Let me see, in a flea market. They were pretty cheap. A couple of the crowbars I got from Home Depot. One of them I got from same flea market. The riot gear, actually, the riot helmets, the riot shield, and the nightstick, I got those from from eBay. Actually, there was some police station in Missouri that was getting rid of all their old riot gear, so got like some Army food containers, these like airtight, watertight food containers. I found those at an Army and Navy store in Middlesex. Let me see, the Foot Locker in the back, I got that from a friend of our family. She gave that to me, and I filled it with a bunch of military radios that I bought off of eBay. And yeah, I've got some ammo boxes in here that came from a flea market. So yeah, between flea markets, eBay, and then I also have like a lot of fake firearms that I bought off of a website on the internet that sells like movie props and stage props. So yeah, those look really good too. So yeah, I would say between flea markets, eBay, and a couple websites on the internet to buy some new stuff, yeah, that's it. It's really just about taking an event that's so obviously unreal, but then presenting it in a way that makes people think for a second, I know this isn't real, but it looks really, really good. So that's that's really the idea of it for me.